Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We're always excited to bring you insightful content that empowers you to navigate relationships and social interactions more effectively. Today, we're diving into a topic many of you have specifically requested, dealing with narcissists and understanding how to make them lose their grip on control. We'll explore various scenarios, effective strategies, and crucial mindset shifts that can help you manage encounters with narcissistic individuals in a healthy, constructive way. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started. First, it's essential to understand that narcissistic individuals often radiate toxicity. Such people harbor an intense desire for control, primarily because they are deeply self-absorbed, hold an inflated opinion of themselves, and carry an unwavering sense of entitlement. During interactions, their attention remains fixated on themselves. Many suggest the best way to handle a narcissist is to cut ties entirely, to have zero interaction. While this might be the ideal solution, it isn't always practical. There will inevitably be moments when avoiding them is simply not possible. For instance, certain times of the year may involve group activities, professional collaborations, or family gatherings where the narcissist is present. In such circumstances, complete avoidance becomes impractical. This naturally raises the question, how can you equip yourself to handle such situations? Is it possible to mentally prepare and effectively manage narcissistic behavior, especially when their negativity targets you? The goal here is to outsmart them, to the point where they back down without you compromising your peace of mind. Remember, for narcissists to maintain their self-image, they need to feel important. They crave validation and want you to believe that their opinions, methods, and perspectives are of utmost significance. But what if you reject this notion? What if you decide, no, I don't think that way? We'll explore how adopting specific mental principles can fortify your resilience and diminish their influence. I'll provide practical examples to demonstrate how you can silence their tactics while staying true to your path, unaffected by their presence. Before diving deeper, I operate under certain assumptions when dealing with narcissists. Firstly, I assume they are troubled individuals, a premise that prevents me from allowing them to dictate my pace. Secondly, I expect negativity from them. This mindset ensures I am not caught off guard when their toxic traits inevitably surface. Narcissists often thrive on constant complaints, while I prefer to focus on positivity. By reminding myself of their nature, I prevent their behavior from surprising or destabilizing me. Additionally, I prepare myself mentally for the likelihood that they might attempt to undermine me. However, it's crucial to remember, just because they try doesn't mean I deserve it. As mentioned earlier, their negativity and compulsive need for superiority often push them to place others, including you, in an inferior role, but that perception is far from the truth. Therefore, I steadfastly refuse to get drawn into their skewed worldview. Moreover, and this is crucial, I remind myself that narcissists are masters of intermittent reinforcement. This term refers to their predictably unpredictable behavior. Occasionally, they might offer praise or positivity, creating the illusion that everything is improving. But just when you start to believe the tide has turned, they revert to criticism. There's no consistent pattern, and I refuse to let their inconsistency affect me. In fact, their inconsistency is their only consistency, and I keep this in mind at all times. It's also important to recognize that narcissists focus predominantly on external factors. They rarely consider matters of character, integrity, or personal values. They might imply that a mistake or disagreement reflects poorly on you as a person. However, they seldom invest time in truly understanding you, a direct result of their empathy deficit. I remind myself that such individuals are ill-equipped to make accurate judgments about me or anyone else. Their judgments are superficial, driven by personal agendas rather than genuine insight. Finally, I acknowledge that narcissists carry countless expectations into every interaction. They enter conversations with predetermined agendas, hoping to control outcomes and emotions. Therefore, whenever I find myself in their presence, I remind myself from the start, I cannot allow this person to control my reactions, emotions, or plans. Especially in social settings, I refuse to let them silence me. Instead, I choose to silence their influence. However, this doesn't mean resorting to argumentation or aggressive tactics. It simply involves conveying, through words and demeanor, that their opinions hold no power over me. They cannot make me feel threatened, anxious, or unsettled. Let's consider a common scenario. Imagine you're at a social gathering, and a narcissistic individual suddenly appears after a long absence. Almost instantly, they start complaining about the food, the weather, the event's organization, anything that allows them to express dissatisfaction. Narcissists possess an uncanny ability, if one can call it a skill, to openly criticize and spread negativity. But what if you chose not to engage? What if you decided, I don't want to be a complainer? You could calmly respond, I understand that you're not pleased with some aspects here, but there are plenty of things I'm enjoying, the weather, the food, and how we're managing activities. Honestly, I'm content with how things are. I'm just going with the flow. If that troubles you, I'm not sorry, because it doesn't bother me, and I'm perfectly okay with it. Expressing this assertively yet calmly demonstrates that you don't align with their negative outlook. Alternatively, consider when they start criticizing others, family members, colleagues, or friends. They might say, that person is so insecure, or this one acts like they're superior. The grumbling continues, fueled by their need to feel elevated by comparison. They often disapprove of or criticize how others, including their children, behave. But what if you chose not to subscribe to their rigid, all-or-nothing mindset? Instead, you could respond by highlighting the positive aspects of the individuals they criticize. For example, you might say, the people you're complaining about actually have qualities I appreciate. That person you mentioned helped me with something important just last week. This approach demonstrates that, while they focus on flaws, you choose to recognize commendable traits. Consider another scenario, you're participating in group activities, and the narcissist, driven by their need for control, begins complaining. Whether it's about games, schedules, or seating arrangements, they will inevitably find fault. In this case, you might decide, I'll go along with whatever is planned, and if they grumble, I won't engage. You could calmly state, it seems like this person has organized something, and I'm happy to follow along. If the narcissist questions why you'd support something they deem ridiculous, respond with, I understand your view, but I'm choosing to go along with it anyway. This makes it clear that your approach is independent, not confrontational. This form of self-assertion is essentially setting boundaries, standing firm in your identity without engaging in arguments. Remember, they don't have to agree with you. Take another common situation. The narcissist starts discussing controversial topics with rigid, intolerant opinions. It's tempting to debate, but has arguing ever changed their mind? Usually not. Instead, you could calmly say, I see this opinion matters to you, but I don't share it. If they challenge your stance or insult your judgment, reply with, I acknowledge your viewpoint, but I still hold my position. This approach prevents pointless debates that only feed their ego. Alternatively, imagine a situation where the narcissist ignores you entirely in a group setting, acting as if you're invisible. Rather than feeling slighted, decide, I won't expect a connection with them. I'll focus on the people I enjoy interacting with. If they choose to behave dismissively, it's a reflection of their character, not yours. The core truth is that narcissists crave control. But you are not obligated to submit to it. They often grow dissatisfied when you think independently, yet it's precisely your independent thoughts that deserve recognition. Narcissists typically resort to blame, accusations, and criticism. When confronted with such behavior, remind yourself, this reflects their nature, not my worth. I won't let their negativity affect me. Narcissists are often intensely self-absorbed. In contrast, strive to embody kindness, encouragement, love, and companionship. The key to outsmarting and disarming them isn't fighting their game, it's embracing your unique individuality. If they dismiss your ideas, you can simply respond, it seems we have different opinions, and that's okay. Your view doesn't define mine. Let go of any illusion that you'll make them agreeable, they rarely change. Instead, focus on being authentically yourself. Let your uniqueness be your strength. If they choose not to interact with you, consider it a win. Chances are, you'd rather not engage with them either. Ultimately, the goal is self-trust, maintaining your identity with quiet confidence. This doesn't require arrogance or aggression, just calm, steady resolve. That's the essence of this approach, staying true to yourself while refusing to be drawn into their negativity. I hope these insights help you navigate challenging encounters with narcissistic individuals. Remember, it's about safeguarding your individuality and setting firm boundaries. If you found this discussion helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos. If you have questions or topics you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. Until next time, stay strong, stay positive, and remember, you're not alone in this journey.